Hey there, if you're into beer and you're in the York region area, you probably have heard of the Second Wedge Brewing Co. If you haven't heard of them, you really need to look them up. That's where we're here today. I'm here today with Rob and Joanne from Second Wedge. They're the founders and owners, and we're here to talk to them and learn more about what they're doing up in Uxbridge. And they're actually doing some amazing things. So right off the bat, I was just really curious, what's been your most popular beer recently?
Pretty much since we opened, our most popular beer has been Three Rocks IPA.
Okay.
So it's a lot of people in this area were like things were too hoppy, but the beer lovers went right to that one.
Okay.
It's not the most in-your-face hoppy.
Yeah.
It's a well-balanced IPA, but it's definitely been our best seller since we opened.
Nice, nice. And do you guys have any new releases that are coming out soon or have just come out type of thing?
Well,
We do.
on Thursday of this week, so which might be today when this video.
Might be today when it's happening, yeah.
We have a couple of beers coming out in cans. So one of them is a revisit of Fat Bike Double IPA, which is an amazing seasonal that we do with local hops, and it's super drinkable, super dangerous. It's like 8.5%,
Oh, wow.
but it tastes really light and just lovely.
Pretty smooth, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the
It's
next
85 IBU, but it doesn't drink like an 85 IBU, and it doesn't drink like an 8.5 ABV.
Yeah.
So it's you have to be careful with it.
Okay.
You know, it's a nice sipping, flavorful beer, and maybe you go on to something else.
Okay. Good tips. Good tips.
Yeah.
Do you guys each have your own personal favorite when it comes to the beer that you guys brew?
Oh, but we got one more.
Wait,
We got one
yes,
more? Okay,
so
sorry, I cut you
also
It's
off.
actually
on
a
Thursday.
bigger announcement.
Yeah.
Than
Okay.
Fat Bike was like, yeah, Fat Bike. And then we're bringing out an Oktoberfest beer, a Märzen.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So a true festival beer, and it's actually a lager, which is something that we've never done before.
Really? Okay.
We just really like this style. We wanted to brew this beer, and then we were talking to our local bookstore owner, Shelley Macbeth from Blue Heron Book. She's putting together a very large literary festival this fall, and
Wow.
said, would you be interested in brewing the festival beer? And we said, we've got just the beer. So we started brewing. We did this several months ago, and it's been lagering for months, and really excited for the Book Drunkard
Okay.
Märzen coming out this week.
What date is that coming out then?
Which day?
Yeah.
So the same day. So we're
It's the
on
Thursday, so that's the
yeah.
3rd then, October 3rd.
October 3rd.
This might be actually on October 3rd when you're watching, or after October 3rd when you're watching, if you're watching a little bit late.
Yeah.
But so it could be out or it will be out soon.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a dual-purpose beer. It's an Oktoberfest festival beer, and it's the literary Book Drunkard festival beer as well.
When's the festival? Do you guys know?
It runs
Yeah.
through late October into early November.
Okay, nice.
3
And
weeks.
that's an Uxbridge as well?
Yeah.
Or that, okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
Shelley's got some pretty amazing authors coming up to town.
Oh, nice.
John Irving.
Well, wow, okay. Gotcha. Some headliners for sure then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We'll go back to the third question then. Do you guys have a personal favorite beer that you guys brew? Or?
I definitely do.
Yeah.
My favorite is Rainmaker,
Okay.
our porter, which is just a really well-rounded porter. It's got a little bit of bitterness to it, chocolate and coffee notes from the malt.
Nice.
I'm a dark beer drinker, so it's just my go-to.
Yeah.
There are other ones here, obviously, that I really like, but that's my just always go-to.
Nice. And Joanne, do you have a
Yeah,
favorite?
I think I'd probably gravitate towards Three Rocks, the IPA, a little bit more than all the others. It's just a real good, everyday, really good with food IPA. It always just feels satisfying to me. They all do. They're like my kids in a way.
Yeah,
so
it's
I
hard
can't
to pick a
pick.
favorite, yeah.
I rotate throughout, and the bar staff always have fun when I come and order a drink. For here on a Sunday having
Yeah.
a beer.
Yeah.
They'll like try to guess what Joanne's going to order because it's never the same.
They place little bets and everything on it.
Exactly.
So that's good, and actually sort of that shows up what you guys' tastes are. And so Joanne, what sort of started off with? I know you guys did home brewing to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
What was the impetus? What was the initial idea? What sort of got you started on doing the home brewing? Yeah.
Oh, to get us into home brewing?
Yeah, like what was the interest? What was the passion?
Well, yeah,
Why?
we've both been beer fans for as long as I've been drinking, basically. Same with you. I grew up in Montreal where there was, back in the, talking the late 80s, there was a lot of interesting beer coming up out of Montreal, and I was a fan just basically from the start. And we started brewing at home as a way to have really good beer at our fingertips. It was a bit of a good hobby when Rob was home for long stretches, and then he'd go away for long stretches, so he could brew, put it all in the fermenters, and then leave it for a few weeks and come back and have amazing beer. So it was just a perfect hobby for us. We just love beer in all its forms, and yeah. And I'm a bit of a geek with all the science behind it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I get into all that weird
So you
stuff.
dig into all that stuff, and nerd out and everything.
I do nerd out.
She's very much nerded out. Yeah, she's a BJCP certified judge.
Okay.
When she got into this, when Joanne gets into something, she
Yeah.
gets into something. So she's now judging competitions.
Wow. Okay.
I just like to drink. I'll criticize it, but
Yeah.
I'll just.
But she's got the certification.
She's
bit
got the
right?
certification.
Yeah, yeah, makes
But
sense.
for the brewery,
Yeah.
we have a brewmaster, Doug Warren, who's
Nice.
an amazing brewer. Doing something at home and then doing it at a bigger scale like this wasn't something we were prepared to take on ourselves. It takes a
Yeah.
lot of our energy and time just to run, everything else in the
That's true.
business. So it's a great partnership of minds and
Yeah.
strengths and everything. And we really wanted to open a brewery for like about 10 different reasons. It all
Okay.
just kind of converged at the same time. And when you start thinking, what would it take to do that? And then you start researching, and it just all starts to snowball. I think it wouldn't have taken hold had we not A, had a huge love for beer,
Yeah.
B, had a huge love for the craft beer community, and the people behind the beer, our own town, and what we wanted to bring to our town, and just like we found that we had the skill sets needed to make a go of it.
Nice.
So all those things came together.
Yeah, the perfect storm kind of.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And sort of going to what you're talking about, community involvement. I know you guys are really involved here in Uxbridge. You host the Uxbridge Farmers Market on Sundays, and you guys just are always really involved in different community aspects. So maybe talk a little bit more about why that's important to you and how the integration has gone from the beginning type of thing.
So I think the biggest part of this is we live in this town and we love this town. So going to the farmers market, we sort of started to see it was in decline. They were losing vendors, and we just thought, we've got all this space. It would be a great relationship for the both of us to be able to sort of help each other. So, and it, I think it took a little convincing for them to move, because you don't want to sort of give up on what you were doing.
Yeah.
It's hard to change.
That's
Right?
true.
Change is hard.
Yeah.
But I think, they did, and kudos to them, because they've now worked their butts off, and the market's stellar.
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
seems to
coming
be
here-
thriving now for the most part. So.
yeah, coming here on Sunday it's an event.
Yeah.
You can go to the market, you can have a pizza, you can hang out there. They have music, live music at the market. You want to hang out there, you want to bring your food in here. It works.
Yeah. Sundays are the highlight of our week now.
I
We
imagine.
really
Yeah,
love
yeah.
our Sundays. It's
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, we wanted, this strong communities are what makes, our town different from the town down the road. Like all the 12 towns down the road, when they all start to become cookie cutters, the difference is in how your community is woven together. And, you get a lot of dynamism and a lot of creativity, and I think just personal happiness out of those kinds of communities. So that's what we want to contribute to.
Yeah, that's awesome. It seems like Second Wedge has become a bit of a hub for a community and that sort of thing, along with the farmers market, but on other days too. And you guys, I know even just recently you did the climate change protest, I guess it is.
Everyone
And
gathered
everyone
here,
gathered
yeah.
here, and then now
And
the
then they went
starting
to the
point.
market.
So it's nice to have that sort of real involvement. People know this as a gathering place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people
Which is remarkable.
They ask and say, like, can we start a march from your place? We're
Yeah.
like, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That's awesome.
we're not, why wouldn't you
Yeah,
start
exactly.
a march from here? We're at one end of the town, there was other people leaving from the other end of town.
Yeah.
And we've sort of engaged, there's many different communities in Uxbridge, so we have an amazing music scene, a lot of talented musicians, so we just wanted to support them. We have
Art.
a huge,
Yeah.
You can't
Art
see it right now.
community.
There's amazing art here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of art. It's awesome.
and we just, we work with all those groups. It's fun to work with them.
Yeah.
I came from a creative background. This allows being in the beer world. It's not just about beer. The beer is creative. There's so much creative stuff to do outside of it as well. So it's been fun.
That's amazing, yeah. And sort of talking a little bit, like extension of the community, recently you guys were a dog-friendly tap room, and then recently through a series of events, the region health board came down and said you couldn't do it anymore. So you guys have started a petition, and you got a lot of community, the beer community, local community, a ton of support. So maybe if you guys want to talk about a little more about that, where people can go and sign the petition if they're interested in supporting. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I guess through a complaints process, our health board came in and inspected, and we were very surprised to have them say you can't have dogs in here, because we had no problem in the past. So there was just a sequence of events, and what it came down to is that our health board can't, they say there's nothing more that they can do, so we should not be allowed to have dogs and food according to the reading of the legislation that they've got. So the only option that we have in order to do this legally in our community is to try to change the actual wording of the law and provide an exception for tasting rooms and other businesses that have non-hazardous, low-risk food.
Makes sense.
Like, bag of chips and chocolate bars should be no problem in our opinion, or it should be our decision as business owners. So that's what we're trying to get across. We've got petition here, of course. It has to be a handwritten signature. So on our website, we have a page listing all of the other places across Ontario where the petition can be signed. We're going for another couple of weeks. We're going to ask for it to be presented to the legislature in late October once they come back from their recess. And we really appreciate all the support we've had on it so far from a lot of different individuals, companies, and many breweries like us.
And an interesting thing is we've talked to a lot of breweries. We all talk to each other and we work together. And every brewery pretty much has had an experience with a health inspector and dogs.
Okay.
Nobody's reacted like they reacted here.
Really?
They usually give them they know it's a gray area.
Yeah.
They usually give them do this, do that, and that'll make somebody happy.
Yeah.
This was a complete shutdown.
Wow.
And we just don't want to be working in a gray area. When they tell you, when you open, you can have dogs.
Yeah.
We built our business model on that, and then 3.5 years later, they say you can't.
Yeah.
We just want to be above board. We want to know what the rules are, and that's what the petition's
And
all
have
about.
clarity and
Yeah, for
consistency.
sure. Yeah, definitely what you want. So if you're watching this and it's not the end of October, come in to the Second Wedge if you're local. Otherwise, check out their website, secondwedge.com.
.ca, yep.
.ca, and they'll have a list of where you can go that's close to you to actually sign the petition. There's many breweries within Ontario that you can go and actually sign the petition, so definitely get out and help support. And then, so taking it from there back to the beer, is there a sleeper beer that you guys have made that maybe not too many people pick up when they come in to buy, or they ordering at the bar that you think they should be buying, or that you like, that sort of people don't pick as often as they should?
People are afraid. Rainmaker. People are afraid of dark beers. They just see the color. Like, I think if we could sit people down and blindfold them and not let them see the color of beer, they would choose differently.
Okay.
There's a psychological thing about a dark beer is heavy and scary, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's Rainmaker. It won gold at the Ontario Brewing Awards in 2018.
Okay.
And it's our least
It's our lowest seller.
But it's like, more people should be exploring, and that's what we're about too, with it being a tasting room. Is come in, have a flight, taste beer. You might not like it right away, but you can acquire a taste for it, and then you're gonna go like, why wasn't I drinking this?
Yeah, and the people who love Rainmaker love it so much.
Okay.
If we run out of Rainmaker, we hear it.
It's
Every
one of
other
those-
beer.
Okay.
People get obsessed about it.
Wow.
so-
Okay.
But you just have to get to that point of giving it a shot.
Give it a shot. You gotta get brave enough, have that courage. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not, it shouldn't be scary, but it's wonderful with grilled meat and that sort
Oh,
of
nice.
thing, like
Okay.
barbecue, anything with a little charred
Yeah.
edge. It's a really nice, it's actually a good summer beer, in
Nice.
our opinion.
We've actually we have a restaurant in town that makes sausage with it.
Okay.
It's a very good cooking beer. We've had another company in town who's made food for larger food companies, experimenting with making sausages and all that kinds of different food with our beer, and they always go to Rainmaker. It's just got such great flavor.
Wow. Okay. So definitely check out Rainmaker, whether you're cooking, drinking, everything in between. You're doing both.
Yeah.
And then, so what do you guys have coming up later in the fall and the winter? How are things looking? Any events? Any new beers past the initial new releases that we mentioned earlier?
Yeah, we have a couple of fun beers for winter months. We are just about to bring in some barrels. We're going to be doing some barrel aging for winter.
Rainmaker.
Imperial version.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Spice Factory is our annual winter warmer that comes out every Christmas time, like throughout the winter months. And this year it has been picked up as a winter seasonal at the LCBO.
Nice.
So it will be a little bit more widely distributed than just here. So we're looking forward to that. We've got obviously the Book Drunkard Literary Festival in town is going to be at venues all over the place. We have an event here related to it, and our beer will be kind of all through town during that 3-week period. We're excited about that. And then we've got things like, the Santa Claus Parade and a lot of little community things that we take part in. We do a display for the Fantasy of Light. So there's a lot of fun things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like good things coming up.
Yeah.
And so if they want to find out more about when those things are coming up, what's the best way to follow you guys on social? And if you want to let them know what your website is again?
Yeah, so the website is thesecondwedge.ca, all spelled out. And then we're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as @thesecondwedge. And you can find all of our events on Facebook and on our website.
Great. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time out to talk a little about what you do and a bit of your history and your involvement and everything. And appreciate you guys for taking out the time. So thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for coming
much.
out.
Appreciate it. All right. So again, if you're in the Uxbridge area, check out Second Wedge. You might actually have it at one of the bars you frequent, so if you see it on tap, give it a shot. And also you can order online as well, so check out their website because you can order online as well. So we'll talk to you soon with more videos from different local spots. Keep supporting local.